Oh, I mean, been working 9 months for this. So the first win was extremely gratifying. It was neat to see the smiles on the faces of all the guys that have put in the time, effort, energy, blood, sweat, and tears to get to this point. And so it was extremely gratifying. Yeah, a little bit erratic in the throw game. Made some beautiful throws, but also missed some open receivers. So we've got to go back. He's like a lot of really good athletes that are playing quarterback. At times, I think they let their footwork and fundamentals slide a little bit. It's something that he's got to make a conscious effort every single time he drops back to throw the football to make sure that his feet and hips and shoulders and everything are the way that they're supposed to be, because a guy like that, 8 times out of 10 can get away with poor mechanics and poor fundamentals, but it's those 2 times that he doesn't, and that we expect him to be 10 for 10. And so we've just got to go back and continue to work on his fundamentals. But as far as his leadership ability, playmaking ability is off the charts. The kids feed off of his energy. There's no doubt about that. I thought he could have done a better job at times when the offense got a little stagnant. I think he got stagnant, and the great quarterbacks can't do that. They've got to rise above the dip in momentum and pick their teams up, and so that's something that we'll work really hard with him this week on, because obviously we're going to face some adversity in every game this year. The 3 gigantic plays in the throw game that had it not been for those 3 plays, and I hate when coaches say that, if it weren't for those 3 plays, then we would have only given up so and so many yards and all that stuff, and that is true. So for however many snaps they had, 59 snaps, I thought we played with fanatical effort on probably about 53 to 54 of those snaps, but the 4 or 5 that we didn't cost us really big, and we've got to do a good job of putting them in a situation where even if a guy, if we have something go wrong, it doesn't turn into a 60, 70-yard play. And but aside from that, I thought they played lights out in the run game. I think we held them to whatever it was, 42 yards rushing or something like that. 29 yards rushing, and so. They played their butts off, but we've got to obviously eliminate those 4 or 5 just mental lapses that cost us those giant plays. Yeah, it was both of them were busted assignments. Leading up to it, absolutely. It actually went better than I thought, because we introduced a lot of new things in terms of our game day expectations and what we do as far as the different meetings and walkthroughs and meals that we have at the hotel. Everything was new for these guys, and there's no way to simulate that. You can have a mock game, you can have a mock pregame, but you never have a mock day at the hotel, and so I thought we were going to have to do a lot more poking and prodding to get what we wanted, but they were locked in, focused, and paid a great amount of attention to detail. Oh, it was fantastic. I thought the student section heeded our call for them to be there. I thought the deal that we did with them, the cage sway, as we're calling it now, was fantastic for the first time, and that'll only get better as the students kind of learn what to do and how to do it and the words to the song. And but it was really, really neat to see them in their seats early, packed into that student section. And it's a tribute to them. Not only were they listening, but I think they felt a little bit of a calling to know that, or to at least hold up their end of the bargain in terms of coming and supporting their team. I did. I did. I saw the guys running out there with the flags, and after we scored a touchdown, we had their offense backed up. I got to go, I kind of went out on the field a little bit and tried to pump up our student section to make it loud for them. I gave a quick wave to my wife up in her little area up in the stands. So I give myself probably a B plus on that. There were some times when, especially the last penalty on the kickoff return, I might have said a few choice words to our staff as to what I thought of us committing another bleeping penalty. But for the most part, I did enjoy it. And what's not to enjoy? That stadium, especially with the enhancements that we've made with the wrap around it and the graphics, and obviously the student section was huge, absolutely huge. And it was a beautiful night for football. And I did my best, Mark, to make sure that I enjoyed it. Holy cow. Yeah. I wasn't. I thought, to be honest with you, Joseph, I thought, we would probably, he wouldn't be even close to being game ready until, next week, but he took to it like a fish to water, and just kept getting better every week in practice. And, we as a staff kind of met on Thursday and again, Friday morning and said, I think this kid's ready to play. And we were right, and he proved us right. He's a guy that is a welcome addition to that room that very sorely needs it. He can run, huh? Yeah. Yeah, the Tyreek's issue has never been the ability. It's been, when he went in, we literally had to tell him what to do every time he was in. So he's got to cram this week. He's got to study. He's got to come in and do extra work with the veterans in that room, the DeMarcus Ayers and Chance Allens and Steve Dunbars and Greg Wards, and with his position coach. And he's got to be more trustworthy on an every down scenario, because he's certainly got the ability. But yes, Joseph, what he showed in the few plays that he was out there was that he's definitely capable of it. Yeah, I mean, the key to great defense, really, at the end of the day, is swarming to the football, playing with a fanatical effort, and very, very good tackling. And we have all of those things on our defense. We've got very passionate guys, and I think it starts not just from the leaders in terms of coaches. And I think, I've got the finest defensive staff in America in Todd Orlando, Craig Niver, Oscar Giles, and Jason Washington. But I've got two of the finest captains on defense in Landon Roberts and Adrian McDonald that bring that kind of energy, that kind of juice. Really, regardless of score, those guys are going to, or regardless of practice period, could be practice 12 of training camp, 109 degrees, and those two guys are out there flying around, flying to the football, playing with fanatical effort. And that's, when you do that on defense, you're going to have a chance to be successful, and we certainly can do that. Yeah, the only reason we waited was because just felt like we didn't want to give our opponent an opportunity to prepare for the two different styles of guys. You know, obviously Adam's a more maybe polished passer, more drop back guy, and Greg is more of a read option, get the ball on the perimeter kind of guy. And so we wanted to keep that under wraps as long as we could and not give them any extra advantage in preparation. And then to answer your second part of the question, it was really hard. Adam Schultz is a hell of a player, hell of a quarterback, and a great kid. You know, we told him when we made the decision, we told both those guys earlier in the week. We didn't tell the team. Told both those guys early in the week who it was going to be, and had them both in the room. You know, we wanted them both to hear the same message. And we told Adam, you know, statistics show we're going to need you at some point to win the game. And if you need to look no further than your head coach. In our first year at Ohio State, you know, Braxton Miller gets knocked out against Purdue, and we're down by 8, and we bring in Kenny Guyton from Aldine Eisenhower, and he leads us back to a double overtime victory. And then, obviously, the well-documented quarterback situation at Ohio State again this year. So Adam's a pro. Adam's a great leader. He's a great young man that understands that his time will come, his chance. You know, at some point in this season, his team is going to count on him to lead them to victory, and I have no doubts that he'll be ready. When are you guys letting me out of here? Yeah, I mean, I'm going to enjoy it tonight and tomorrow morning. Probably wake up, have some brunch with my family. Maybe go to. Actually, we're having a service at our field house, but. I'm going to enjoy it tonight and tomorrow morning, and we'll go in and we'll enjoy it tomorrow too, Mark. To be honest with you, as a team, we'll have a team meeting and we'll congratulate and recognize the players of the game and the big plays in the game, and then we'll put it to bed and go out on the field and introduce Louisville to the team and get a start on Louisville tomorrow night. He wasn't running real good, to be honest with you. And I got to figure out why, because he's our best player on offense. Now, it worked out well that the game got to the point where we didn't need him to go back in to do anything. So I think it was a combination of those things. It's certainly, I say that, he wasn't running real well. That's the truth, but that's not why he only had 11 carries. It wasn't like we pulled him. It was just kind of the normal course of rotation, and then once the game got to a point where we knew we didn't need him to win the game, it was, hey, let's get him out and keep him fresh for next week. Yeah, it was really two. You know, Kenneth fumbled one, and DeMarcus fumbled one, which they recovered, and the other three were bad snaps, which is, you know, you never want to make an excuse, but we got a redshirt freshman center playing in his very first game out there that, you know, the ball got a little wet, his hands got sweaty, as they tend to do in Houston, Texas in early September, and his snaps were poor, and there's no excuse for it, but that part of it we can correct. And the two fumbles were interesting to me because we pride ourselves in just being, I mean, absolutely fanatical about the way that we teach and demand ball security from everybody that carries the football. And I didn't see it. I saw it in practice for 40-some-odd practices throughout spring and two-a-days, and then for whatever reason, the kids didn't carry it over into the game, and that obviously was the reason for Kenneth's fumble and DeMarcus's fumble. So we'll watch those on film, see where we went wrong, and go back to our basics. And you know, if we got to have a whole period on how to carry the football next week, we will, because that's those two fumbles are absolutely unacceptable. There's no place for ball security in our or for poor ball security in our offense. I'm good. I thought it was in maybe the end of the third, maybe beginning of the fourth quarter. I was just in one of those moments that I reminded myself to. I think it was actually after we scored a touchdown. I watched the guys. Are they wearing chaps, by the way? Are those guys that run out there with the flags? Are they wearing chaps? Are they riding horses, like imaginary horses or something? But so I watched those guys and just kind of had in my head, enjoy the moment, kind of looked around the student section. I looked up in the corner where she sits and figured her and my family would be up there and gave her a little wave. I doubt she saw it. She was probably preoccupied or running around chasing these little rugrats, but made me feel good knowing I did it. Yeah, the W is good enough. The team was nice enough. They actually planned ahead of time, I guess. I don't know, but the captains presented me with a game ball inside the locker room. Yeah, so that meant a lot to me, and so that'll certainly go up on a shelf and be cherished for a long time. Yeah. I mean, they are. They're I get pretty emotional just with this team and especially the senior class because of how hard they've fought for us and how much they've bought in and and didn't have to. In a lot of places that doesn't happen when you transition coaches. The senior classes or the senior class guys are the ones that provide the most pushback and for us it's been the complete opposite. Our seniors have provided the most buy-in, and so anytime I get a moment with those guys like that, it's pretty emotional.
Something special after the game that it took you a long time to get here, or was that?
Yeah, well, that's pretty normal. We call up, we say a quick voluntary prayer, and then we call the coordinators up, and they single out, like Coach Applewhite called up Greg Ward. He called, and they say a few words to the team. They called up DeMarcus Ayers and Kyle Postma. They all say a few words to the team. Then Coach Orlando does the same with a few guys on defense, and then Coach Washington, a few guys on special teams, and then we presented Hunter Yurachek with a game ball, and we presented Dr. Couture with a game ball, and then I gave them a few words of wisdom of what was expected of them tonight. As they celebrate, and then also coming in tomorrow being a work day, and coming to the office with their minds right, and then we sing the fight song, and then David makes me go do a radio interview, so that's kind of the timetable. Good? Thanks, guys.